Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot, but the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not. The Grinch hated Christmas the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows this reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be, perhaps, that his shoes were too tight. For tomorrow, he knew, all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early and rush for their toys. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, 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 feast. And then they'd do something he least liked at all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing. They'd sing, and they'd sing, and they'd sing, 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 sing. Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea. Then he growled with his Grinch fingers nervously drumming, "I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming."
With this coat and this hat, I look just like Saint Nick.
All I need is a reindeer. The Grinch looked around, but since reindeer are scarce, there was none to be found.
Oh!
Did that stop the old Grinch? No, the Grinch simply said. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead.
Now the thing I need is... Aha! Will you guys help me with reindeer?
Sure. I'll take the broom.
Then the Grinch said, "Giddy up." And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark. Quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming, sweet dreams without care. When he came to the first little house on the square,
Whoa! This is stop number 1.
the old Grinchy claws hissed, and he climbed to the roof, empty bags in his fist. Then he slid down the chimney, a rather tight pinch, but if Santa could do it, then so could the Grinch. He got stuck only once for a moment or two, then he stuck his head out of the fireplace flue, where the little Who stockings all hung in a row.
These stockings are the first thing to go. Get ready to go.
Then he slithered and slunk, with the smile most unpleasant, around the whole room and took every present. Pop guns and bicycles, roller skates, drums, checkerboards, tricycles, popcorns, and plums. Then he stuffed them in bags. Then the Grinch very nimbly stuffed all the bags, one by one, up the chimney.
Action.
And the Grinch grabbed the tree and he stared to a shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast. He saw a small Who, little Kindy Lou Who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny Who daughter, who got out of bed for a cup of water.
Santa Claus, why? What? Santa Claus, why? Are you taking our presents? Why?
I'm bringing them back to my workshop, my dear. Fixing them there, bringing them back here. In the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse.
Action.
The Who's down in Whoville will all cry boo-hoo. That's the sound that I'm getting here right now.
And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, the sound sounded merry. He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all. And he puzzled 3 hours till his puzzle was sore. Then the Grinch thought of something he hadn't before.
Maybe Christmas doesn't come from a store. Maybe Christmas can mean more. And I'll bring the toys back.
In a minute, his heart didn't feel quite so tight. He whizzed with his load through the bright morning light. And he brought back the toys and the food for the feast, and he...
Wow, look at that. That's beautiful.
He himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beast.
Merry Christmas.